Before people became aware of the serious harm caused by drugs, narcotics were a means of entertainment and a way for people to escape the pressures of life. Throughout history, they were a solution that people resorted to. They were also used in religious rituals by some tribes. Some researchers believe that our awareness of narcotic plants first emerged from observing the behavior of animals and the changes that occur when they consume certain types of plants or herbs. Despite scientific advancements, we've only recently discovered the harm caused by narcotics. Even today, some people and animals still use drugs. Welcome to Random Channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to receive regular updates. I hope you enjoy the video. Elephants are sensitive and intelligent creatures and are among the gentlest in the animal kingdom. They rarely show any signs of aggression or violence, and when they do, it is usually in response to being harmed. However, from 1875 onwards, people began to notice strange symptoms in African elephants that were similar to the symptoms of drunkenness. They would stagger from side to side and sometimes fall over while walking. Their mood was unstable. Sometimes they were very gentle, and at other times they would become aggressive for no apparent reason. As a result, people began to observe their movements in order to understand the cause of these symptoms and when they occurred. They discovered that the elephants were searching for a specific type of tree called the Marlborough tree. This tree is widespread in many parts of South Africa and produces medium-sized yellow fruit with a white interior that resembles mangoes. This fruit is used in traditional medicine to treat stomach aches, alleviate allergy symptoms, and prevent malaria. Elephants prefer this type of fruit, so they go to these trees. The problem is that the elephants eat the fruit that has fallen to the ground. When the fruit falls to the ground and remains there for some time, it ferments, and the sugar inside turns into ethyl alcohol, also known as ethanol. This is the primary component of various types of alcohol. Therefore, it was concluded that the elephants were experiencing these symptoms because they ate this fruit. However, in 2006, a group of scientists stated that the whole drunken elephant phenomenon was just a popular myth. African elephants are the largest land animals in the world. An adult elephant can weigh up to 7 tons. In order to become drunk, they would require more than 27 litres of ethanol. Since the alcohol content of a single fruit is 7%, and producing 1 litre of ethanol requires 200 fruits, it follows that one elephant would have to eat more than 5,000 fermented fruits to become drunk. This is obviously unlikely and impossible. As this explanation seemed logical, the scientists were convinced by the study and ignored the elephant's clear symptoms. Then, in 2020, a new study emerged that proved the previous study was based on a flawed premise. It was previously assumed that an elephant's body processes alcohol much like a human's, but the biological differences between the two species are vast. When elephants' bodies were studied more thoroughly this time, it was revealed that humans have a tolerance for alcohol that is 40 times greater than that of elephants and can metabolize ethanol more effectively. This is because elephants lack a gene called ADH7, which is responsible for producing the protein that helps to oxidize alcohol. This means that the symptoms observed in elephants were genuine signs of intoxication and not a myth. So, be careful not to let an elephant into a bar one day. Now let's travel to Australia, where we'll find a group of narcotic plants that are prohibited in many countries, but legally cultivated in South Australia. One such plant is the poppy, which resembles a rose but is used to produce some of the world's most dangerous narcotics, including opium, heroin, and morphine. Tasmania, an island off the coast of Australia, is one of the world's largest producers of opium for medical use. According to statistics from 2011, 45% of the world's legal opiates are produced in Tasmania under strict control. Consequently, farmers there are extremely careful about their land and the quality of their crops. In 2009, however, farmers began to complain that parts of their land where they had planted crops were completely empty, despite being certain that plants had been there before. Strangely, the empty areas always appeared to be circular. This wasn't happening to just one farmer. Several farmers made the same complaint. After the problem escalated, surveillance cameras were installed to catch the thief stealing the crops. They made the surprising discovery that the culprits were friendly marsupials that sneaked into the fields every day to eat the crops. These animals, known as wallabies, are herbivores, so the poppy fields provided them with an easy and free feast. The wallabies decided to try the poppies, and as soon as they did so, they began exhibiting abnormal symptoms, such as increased activity and circling around in circles. This explains the presence of the circular shapes. Things continued like this until the farmers were forced to surround their land with fences and barbed wire to stop the wallabies accessing the crops. Hallucinogenic properties are not just found in plants and fruits. Certain types of mushrooms can also cause intense auditory and visual hallucinations. One such species is the Amanita mushroom, which grows almost everywhere in the world except Antarctica. It is distinguished by its striking appearance, with red caps speckled with white. We have all surely seen this mushroom in Super Mario games. This type of mushroom always grows near trees such as pine trees. For some indigenous Siberian peoples, the tree is considered the tree of life, and any place where these mushrooms are found is considered sacred. The fact that this mushroom grows without any human intervention further strengthens their belief in its sanctity. They have observed reindeer searching specifically for this mushroom and digging in the snow to reach it. After consuming it, the reindeer exhibit abnormal symptoms such as increased physical strength and extraordinary stamina for running. They run around aimlessly, make strange noises, and suddenly move their heads in different directions. This has led them to suspect that the mushroom provides energy and purifies the soul. However, when they tried to eat it, this type of mushroom causes dizziness, confusion, and extreme fatigue, as well as hysterical laughter or sadness for no apparent reason. It also causes auditory and visual hallucinations. Some have even reported seeing reindeer flying through the air. It was later discovered that the Amanita mushroom is toxic to humans, but reindeer can digest and enjoy it. Some shamanic tribes have started to avoid using the mushroom directly as a narcotic in their rituals, instead opting for reindeer urine to achieve a similar effect without the toxins. They have observed reindeer, and they also believe that this mushroom enables them to communicate with their ancestors. During holidays and celebrations, they wear red and white clothing to match the colour of the mushroom. This is said to be one of the origins of Christmas symbols such as flying reindeer, pine trees, and red and white clothing. In 2016, Dr. Louise Becker, a primatologist from the Leibniz Institute in Germany, embarked on a research expedition in Madagascar's forests. There, she and her colleagues observed that, after it rained, lemurs appeared in various locations throughout the forest, seemingly searching for something specific. Shortly afterwards, they spotted one of the lemurs holding a worm in its hand. The lemur squeezed, pressed, and gently bit the worm, taking care not to kill it. It then thumped the worm on the ground several times and rubbed it against its body. Finally, the lemur released the worm and walked away. After a while, however, the lemur appeared to be losing consciousness and was unable to open its eyes. It eventually lay down and fell asleep. This behaviour was very strange to Becker and the other researchers, especially since lemurs are herbivores. Furthermore, the worm it was holding was a red millipede, a type of worm that, while not usually aggressive, would still have seemed threatening. These millipedes have glands connected to their feet that secrete a fluid. This fluid contains potent toxins that could cause inflammation and burns if they come into contact with the skin of any mammal. How did the lemur manage to catch the millipedes and rub them on its body? This phenomenon is known as self-medication in the scientific community. The term first appeared in 1987 and refers to animals that use preventative or therapeutic methods from their surrounding environment. The lemur was cleansing itself of parasites and bacteria and killing some of the insects present in its fur. It was hitting and biting the worm to make it feel threatened and stimulate it to release these toxins, which the lemur then collected and rubbed on its body. However, these toxins had an additional effect on the lemur, making it appear drunk or euphoric. Turning our attention to the sea, we discover that dolphins, among the most intelligent and playful marine creatures, also enjoy getting high. This was revealed in an amazing clip from a BBC documentary showing a group of dolphins surrounding a pufferfish, or fugu. They tossed the fish back and forth and played with it like a ball, clearly enjoying themselves. Since this type of fish is not a strong swimmer and inflates with air when threatened, it couldn't escape. The dolphins played with the fish for about 20 or 30 minutes before finally letting it go. None of the dolphins tried to eat the fish, but then strange symptoms began to appear. They started staggering as they swam and played. Their reflections in the water made them look like other dolphins. They twirled around, and it became clear that this behaviour was intentional and designed to induce a state of intoxication or euphoria. This was because the fish. The pufferfish is considered the second most poisonous vertebrate after the golden toad. When threatened, it produces a chemical called tetrodotoxin, which is 1,000 times more potent than cyanide. This means that the pufferfish's venom could kill 30 people. However, dolphins have learned to use their intelligence to their advantage, discovering that a small amount of this venom produces a similar effect to a drug, inducing a state of intoxication that gives them a mild feeling of euphoria. And that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.